Hi, everyone, and welcome to the final round of the Phyrexia All Will Be One Mega Draft Finals. We have two extremely impressive opponents here that we're going to be watching. Uh, you're going to be watching from the point of view of Jordan M., who has been on an absolute tear since he first joined the league back in Eldraine Flashback League. He has played 7 leagues and made top 8 6 times. Never placed worse than 9th, and is here going for his first ever league win. Up against him will be Rafael, who has played for about the same amount of time, starting 1 league before Jordan. This is his second top 8, and he's never placed higher than 8th. So we've got 2 contestants who are going to be, no matter who wins, it's going to be their first win. We've seen Rafael's deck in the last match. That was the red-green deck with the Miglazes and the oil synergies. And he's going to be up against against Jordan's deck, which is the black-green sort of grindy deck with all of the ambulatory edifices and ways to sort of incrementally trade efficiently, remove things, and then maybe win either just by value or by toxic synergies. So I'm going to message the players and let them know that we're ready for them to start. Yeah. And Richard, you can fill time while I do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Jordan's deck leaning towards toxic, but can win just by regular damage. We're seeing Jordan with a hand here of 2 black lands and a bunch of black spells that he'll be able to cast with more lands. Raphael's gonna mulligan here, so Caleb's gonna tell us all about his mulligan decision there. It looks like they're about to start.
Yeah, Raphael's hand right now has the Miglaz, has the has a Batterfist, a Predation Steward, and a Ruthless Predation, but he's only got 3 forests, so no mountains. He's going to keep it. This was his Multi 6, actually. I think the first hand he pitched had only 1 or 2 lands in it. And he's put back one of the forests, which is very aggressively banking on drawing that mountain in the first draw or 2.
I am confident that any hand he keeps will not be the worst keep of the day for him. So
well, it looks like this has worked perfectly for him because he's got the mountain, which means he can slam that Miglaz on curve, and it looks like there isn't a clean answer to it in Jordan's hand.
Yeah, so Jordan was missing a forest from his hand to be able to play the Stalker on turn 2. He has drawn a forest and another forest as a follow-up here. So he'll be able to play his Hive Master, his Testament Bearer, be able to start, grinding away all these creatures that have value. Ambulatory Edifice, again, another creature that has value. So, all of his creatures are, they not only do they affect the board as a creature, but they give little bits of value when they come or go here.
And already we had a really interesting choice from Rafael.
Is that a Hexgold Slash he was considering?
He's got a Hexgold Slash in hand, yes, but he chose to, rather than just drain out the Miglaz on 3, I think he's worried about the first Anoint from his opponent, given that's what he saw. He got hit by that from Cody last game. I think since he's only got the 1 mountain, he's not going to be able to play Miglaz and hold up Hexgold Slash here. So I think his hand, despite having very cheap efficient cards in it, he's still only going to be casting 1 spell a turn for the next little while. And this is actually really unfortunate here, because he's going to get got by this Vraska's Fall.
Why didn't he just draw his second one?
Well, now would be the ideal time for him to do that.
So Vraska's Fall is gonna get Miglaz here.
Yeah, that's got to be some regret.
Yeah, well, I mean, Vraska's Fall was a card that actually really didn't show up too much in the format. With all the mites running around, it wasn't exactly where you want it to be a lot of the time. And now this Ambulatory Edifice gets to pick off the 3/1 and grow this adaptive. This is all coming up Jordan here in the early turns. Raphael's going to
this sort of thing was why I was so high in the Ambulatory Edifice in the draft portion, right? Just having...
That card was really good,
Yeah, there's just so many things with 1 toughness, and it's just such an efficient turn when it hits, the tempo swing kind of wild. And here, Raphael's going to deal 0 to something.
Yeah, so Clawing Torment, I believe, is -1 and can't block, so he can just
that's correct, yeah,
freely deal damage here, 7, and then he has 11 on board for the next turn, so he has exactly 11 here.
I guess it is lucky that...
And Raphael's going to lose a life from the Clawing Torment as well, so...
well, he can kill his own Anointer by Batterfisting it. But he's choosing to. Okay,
All
I don't
right.
know if I understand that one.
Not sure he
I
needed to show
think
him that,
he's.
but yeah,
I
Jordan.
think he's
I think
just dead.
it's yeah. I mean, Raphael's hand was not bad. It just did not line up favorably with what Jordan had, and that Miklos hitting the getting hit by the Vraska's fall. He might keep that in mind. So Raphael maybe made a mental note that he doesn't want to do that again, and
Hmm.
not to run it out there. Right,
Yeah,
so
he's just
Jordan's already
the
busy
dead.
sideboarding. Every time we see him in future matches, he's always thinking really carefully about sideboarding. So, and that honestly, that wins games. You might wonder how is it that he keeps making top eight 6 out of 7 leagues? Is that where he's at now?
Uh-huh.
Like this is part of it. Just taking out things that he doesn't see as useful. Like he took out the Tyrannax Atrocity and the Shieldred's Head Cleaver. One of the cards he's thinking about bringing in is Icarspit Basilisk. So seeing smaller aggressive creatures, he says, green red, let me bring in a little bit more of a defensive creature.
Yeah, I think he understands that his opponent is, especially when Raphael's going to be on the draw, or on the play rather. His opponent is going to be dead in the matchup.
Yeah, Tyrannax Atrocity does not line up well against Hex Gold Slash.
That's another true point.
Yeah, I remember I saw Tyrannax Atrocity in the set preview, like before the second round. I was like, oh, that's gonna be like the bread and butter 5-drop for the green deck, like especially the green white, green black, the toxic decks. And then I think the second time I cast it, got killed by Hex Gold Slash, and I was like, I kind of almost never want to cast this card again. I mean, I did cast it again after that, but it was just like, oh,
Out
okay,
of this board, what are you
this
looking
card
at
has
as your
gone a lot way down.
what are you looking at as your last card to bring in here for Jordan? I think Whispers is sort of would be interesting to me.
Yeah, Whispers of the Dross. I mean, we saw Cody playing all of them, but he did have some proliferate synergy. Jordan has not main decking it, but he didn't see anything that would make him want that. So
He does have a lot of also the edifices kill the same stuff as Whispers does.
yeah,
So
it makes
he's got
it
X
makes it
ones
not
covered.
not needed. He even has Clogged Torment as another -1/-1. Let's see what he decides here. Yeah, so again, Jordan just completely on a tear lately. Yeah, the one league he didn't make top eight, he was ninth. So it's just
Yes.
yeah, and I remember him from the Eldraine Mega Draft because we played in the first round, and his deck was scary. He drafted a mono black deck with 8 copies of I think it was called the Smitten Swordmaster,
Oh
the
wow.
black creature that drains for knights, and I was
Yeah,
lucky.
that
I was lucky to just be fast enough to go under that
uh,
and kill him with trample and things. But yeah, he might have had the scariest deck at the table even at that draft.
we see some character growth here from Raphael pitching that one lander.
Ah,
Uh,
so he's learned at least for now,
yeah.
until the next enticing one lander comes around.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Jordan does ship the one lander and keeping pretty nice hand here, honestly.
Yeah,
Siphoner
they
on 2, Hive Master on 3, and then Testament Bearer for when he hits his 4th land. So again, just
Raphael's got
these little creatures that, I mean, the Pestilent Cypher doesn't give value, but the Hive Master and the Testament Bearer is just, they just give you that little bit of value you need in these,
yeah,
what could be a grindy match.
the Testament Bearer in particular lines up pretty well versus everything Raphael's got here. He's got, creatures that will one for one it, or removal that will one for one it, or a combat trick in Blazing Crescendo that isn't going to let any of his creatures, take that fight and live.
Yeah, like if Jordan was playing against, let's say, Cody Race and saw the Whispers of the Drosses, you might think, Testament Bearer could be a card I would want to cut. But against red green where the things are beefy, it's gonna do work here. Yeah, so he gets his toxic going here. He did draw his 4th land
All right,
for his
and
Testament Bearers to start coming down.
we got to see, does Raphael get the counter on the scrap poetry? Yeah, there we go.
Yes,
Never in doubt.
absolutely. All right. So what else? What is Raphael doing here for
Well, his hand's another
this turn?
bear, another shrapnel sentinel, and then a blazing crescendo. So he's going to be piling on the pressure, and he's going to run into a wall made of testament bearers.
Yeah, Testament Bearers are just going to come. They're going to trade. He's even drawn a Lattice Blade Mantis, which probably is the play here.
Over testament bearer, you mean?
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, it blocks better
I think it's just
and it attacks better.
you've already had one removal cast from Rafael. Like for me, I'm always, thinking the first blocker I play, if they haven't played removal yet, is likely to die. So I might play Testament Bearer here, but this is perfectly reasonable as well.
Yeah, I would have been thinking on the Mantis, right? Like it blocks better, it attacks better. I'm gonna I would just go for
Mm.
that, and then Testament Bearer is a very very fine follow up here as well.
Yeah, and this Crescendo doesn't win any of these fights. It's an unfortunate thing. And if you
Yeah,
just pass here,
he'll probably fire it off on blocks, I imagine, or if if that's of interest to
well,
anything.
that seems even riskier though. Then you're signing up to get blown out by anything instant speed.
Okay, so he's gonna offer the
Yeah, I think this is given the um, given the spot you're in.
Jordan's gonna say
I don't hate this at
no
all.
thanks. Jordan
Yeah,
says no thanks.
interesting.
I'm good. I can just play my Testament Bearer and block next turn.
He's also got the Glare with a Might to feed to it if he needs it. Um,
Yeah. I don't think there's
I feel
anything
like
he wants to
though,
necessarily glare here. Maybe he's identified Scrap Gorge or something he wants
yeah,
to get rid of, but it can't actually get the counter right now. So
he says he doesn't want to deal with any of that nonsense because if you like play an instant and then or you block, play a trick, and then tap, then it's blocks as a 3/3. So he says, I'm not going to take that risk. I'm just going to clear the way, hit for 6, and play my Testament Bearer.
yeah. So
Holy shit,
okay.
man.
Are you able to unmute? Yeah. All right. So Scalbade Scant, not exactly what you want to see off the top here. I guess it does trade with the Testament Bearer, but let's see what Jordan decides to do this turn. He has his Testament Bearer and a Scrap Trap. All right.
So again, okay, here it looks like the Blazing Crescendo is going to be used on blocks.
Yeah, so a risky play, but with just the power discrepancy of the creatures in play and the creatures coming down for Jordan, you know, he has to try and get that off the board. There's a
Volt Charge is at least something, but it's really not all that much.
here's a Scrap Trap that will put another poison counter here.
Ooh.
All right, so yeah, so Volt Charge can, I mean, I guess kill the Siphoner.
Well, it also puts a oil counter on the Scamp, which lets your Anointer kill something next turn.
Yeah, it'll put two oil counters, in fact. But yeah,
that's true.
And so he's going for the Testament Bearer here.
It does get the most incoming damage off of the board,
right,
but
so, yeah, Jordan finds a Basilisk here, which he brought in from the sideboard.
Okay. It's funny though, like Tyrannix Atrocity would really, really hurt on this board.
Yeah, well, so would Sylvok Battle Chair, but he doesn't have the 6 land for it.
Yeah.
Just drew that.
We're getting to the point though where it's really hard to find draws for Jordan that don't close out the game.
Yep. Well, just stuff he can't cast, basically. Yeah, so looks like Jordan's on his way to finally putting together that win. I know he was definitely, many times we had him in the future match, and I just kept saying it's a matter of time before he's, lined up to win a league. So he's very close here.
We've got the Anointer in hand, which is going to probably take out Testament Bearer, you have to guess. Might take out the Flyer.
I mean, he opted last time to kill the Testament Bearer over the Siphoner when given the chance here.
This does let him get in for 2 with the Shrapnel Singer,
okay,
right?
So he's got an Infectious Bite here. That's the card he found. That's
kind of nasty.
More problems here.
Oh, now he's he's just barely not dead.
No, yeah, he goes to 1 here and 8 poison if he opts to use Infectious Bite. He could also just play the 6/6 chair.
I do like the swing out there for what it's worth. Like I think your way to win involves just stealing it in a race with damage out of nowhere, like you draw Titanic Growth or something.
Yeah, this wasn't a format where blocking benefited you very much.
Yeah.
And today's
no. What does Jordan swing with? Swings with both, and he's just going to play the Basilisk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now the Siphoner is just lethal. no matter what.
Yeah,
No
this
matter what Rafael does. So if he doesn't have a removal there, it looks like this is going to be said and done.
well, hold on though. He can
Okay.
fight the
All
flyer.
right, so
Yeah.
he, okay,
And he
so he drew a
can
removal.
line up a double chump, I suppose.
Yeah, and then the 6/6
Yeah.
trample coming down will do the trick.
It does feel like we're in the all over but the formalities stage of things. Active treason. No. All
Not
right.
even, right?
The good games are out there, and
All
we have a
right,
new
so
league champion.
yeah, absolutely. Congratulations to Jordan. First league win here in his sixth top 8. So big congratulations to him. Congratulations as well to Rafael and all the other players in the top 8 for their tremendous accomplishments. And we'll be back with, we're not going to have our feature matches for the half league, the Innistrad League, but we'll be back March of Machines for our feature matches. And thanks everyone for watching. Congratulations once again to Jordan.